folks, and welcome to The Claim. It's a great day out here and a great time to get away from the city and all that craziness going on with the virus. And anyway, it's been a long time since I've been out here prospecting because I've been kind of taking care of my sweet wife who has been battling cancer. Well, now she's feeling better, so now I can kind of get out and do some things. I appreciate all you folks that have been going to my videos and commenting and interacting, and in particular Dave Howard, who's been talking with me about regarding how many 5-gallon buckets actually fit in a cubic yard. Now let me explain to you, especially for those of you who are new to prospecting, how we measure gold, okay? If you're measuring gold as an outcrop, where you're actually drilling and blasting into the mountain to get the gold out of the rock, okay, this is a primary enrichment, okay? And so therefore, it's measured by ounces to the ton, so by the weight of the rock. When you're dealing with placer like we have out here, this is a secondary enrichment where the rock tumbles down the hill, breaks apart, the gold falls out and gets into the gravels. Now we measure this by the volume, which is cubic yards, okay? So, and the reason why behind that is that the ground can vary in weight. If you have a 5-gallon bucket and say it's out here in the desert, it can weigh as much as 60 pounds when it's bone dry, but if it's wet, it can get as heavy as 70 pounds or more. So it's really hard to judge what your gold values are by weight when you're dealing with a placer deposit. Also, if you watch Gold Rush, most of that mining operation is all placer. So they're measuring by cubic yards. Now, if you want to find out more about geology, the weight of gold, how it's mined and everything, I recommend going to Jeff Williams' site, Ask Jeff Williams, and also Chris Ralph. Both of those guys are geologists, and they really have extensive videos on all about geology, mining, types of rocks and things of that sort, types of deposit, and you can get all that information. So anyway, let's figure out, it's still how many 5-gallon buckets equal a cubic yards, so we kind of know what's going on when we're out prospecting. So come on over here and I'll show you what I got. Okay, so what I built here has some scrap lumber that I had laying around, a box, and it measures about 3 feet by 3 feet, okay, and it's 3 feet deep. So we have basically 1 cubic yard here. So we'll go ahead and see how many buckets can fill in here. Now, if you're a math wizard, I'm sure you can go ahead and measure the cubic volume of the bucket and figure it all out. But I thought we'd do it the hard way and have more fun doing it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we got 10 buckets that are filled up with dirt all the way up to the brim. So let's go ahead and load it into the box and see how many 10 buckets we can actually put in this thing. Okay, here we go. Boy, these buckets are heavy. Okay, our first 10 buckets are in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and kind of help squash and compact this dirt down as much as we can. Sort of feel like I'm squashing grapes, but it's more like squashing dirt clods. And let me tell you the reason why I'm doing this. When you're digging in placer gravel like this, you can see how hard the dirt is, okay? It's very, very tough. That's because this dirt has been compressed by thousands, if not millions of years. So when you're actually measuring the cubic volume, you're not measuring what the volume is in the bucket, you're actually measuring this volume. So if the ground was 3 feet deep to bedrock and you had a 3-foot square here, that would be a more accurate measurement of your cubic volume. So you can see as I'm digging here, it's pretty tough stuff. But once I dig it out, I've actually induced air between all the little rock particles, okay? So that makes it all soft. So that doesn't really give you a true evaluation of volume. So, and it also varies, because if you're digging in stream gravel, it can be very loose and easy to dig, okay? So that's another variation. If you're out in the desert like this, the ground's really compact and very hard. It makes a total difference. So those are some of the things, some of the subtle things that you have to be aware of when you're digging these gravels. Now, let's go ahead and get busy, load up another 10 buckets into that box and see what we get. Okay, round 2.
For example, only.
Okay, that's 20 buckets in. Well, I have to say this box is almost half filled. Not quite half, but getting really close. Yep. Easier to get out too. All right, this is round 3. Here we go. 10 more buckets. Here we are.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Let's get in here and tamp it down a little bit more. Woo! A lot of hard work. Really got to have a lot of respect for the old miners that did this day in and day out every day. Woo! All right, there we have it. Well, I think we're about 2/3 of the way filled up here. So we got one more round of 10 buckets to make 40 buckets. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is going to be our 4th round of 5-gallon buckets. So let's see what we get here. Okay, this is bucket number 40 coming out here. The wind just blew my hat off. Anyway, as we can see, 40 buckets, probably not going to cut it. It's probably going to be a lot more, especially once I jump in here and pack it down a little bit. It might be another 5 buckets or so. So let's get in here and pack it down and kind of see where we're at. Now also there's another thing going on here too. The wood is bulging a little bit. So that's probably taking up at least a couple of buckets worth of dirt just because of the pressure for me packing on. You can kind of see this part here bulging out probably by an inch at least, you know, on all 4 sides. So yeah, if I put some support struts on it, might have helped it a little better, but get the idea. So I think that's probably taken away at least a couple of 5-gallon buckets worth of dirt, just compensating for the bulge. Okay folks, we've already put 40 buckets into this and we got it all compressed. Now we got a bunch more loaded up. Let's see actually how much it takes to actually top off this this box. So let's go ahead and load it on up. There's one. Number 2. Here's number 3 coming in. Okay, here's number 4. Here's bucket number 5. And I think we're getting pretty darn close here. Now let me kind of get to the edges here a little bit with this. But I think it's going to be, like I say, the box is bulging a little bit. So that probably compensates for at least a couple of buckets. So yeah, we're just about there. And I think by the time I compress this down, I think we're going to be pretty darn close. So a total of, you know, between 43 and 45 buckets here. So let me squash it down, see where we're at. And actually, yeah, let me put in one more bucket here, just for good measure. just to see where we're at. Get a little extra in here. Yeah, that may help. So it's about a half a bucket. So we'll stick to that. Yeah, I think this will probably do it. All right, let me get in here and dance around a little bit. Gotta see where we're at. Ugh. Gotta be real careful. Yeah, this wood's really bulging now, so I don't want to overdo it. We'll kind of attack the middle here a little bit more. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think that's probably going to do it. Woo! So we have basically almost 46 buckets. So Dave Howard, you're pretty correct. You know, like I said, I thought I would have 40. You were saying about 50 if I'm right. So it's about 45 that fits into here. Now this is virgin ground, so I'm anxious in my next video to actually process this through my wash plant. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can actually catch me in the next video as I'm running this through the wash plant, because I want to see how much gold do I get out of this cubic yard. So be sure to stay tuned. In the meantime, I wish you the very best of luck in your prospecting adventures. Get out there and find some gold, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Hope you had fun.